that, again, has got maximum points to his name and could be a contender for Joe Turney if his wet racing conditions, or wet racing technique. Green light is flashing. We are ready to go racing. Qualifying heat, E versus F, heads out onto the circuit. Let's take you through the full starting lineup. Jacob Mikulev and Scott Lindblom starts this one on the front row. And it is Scott Lindblom, who we're talking about there, who has had the multiple race wins so far, 100 points to his name, and starts this one on the front row of the grid. They will have Dries van Langendonk and Thibaut Ramekers starting alongside Ramekers, who has had a DNF and a third over the course of the day, the weekend. Needs to have good results today. Jimmy Elias and Luna Flusha going from row number 3. Sadamat Tsoy and Guy Albag on row 4. Gabriel Stilt will not be out there. Unfortunately, a red flag incident yesterday forced him to unfortunately retire from the weekend. Broken ankle going his way. Hopefully makes a speedy recovery. So Matteo Giacardi will be all on his own on row number 5. Lewis Gilbert and Tatiana Monza round out row number 6. Andrea Dupe and Guillaume Bouzard on row 7. They'll have Dominic Simic and Austin Gale on row 8. Ian Eichmann and Davide Battaro on row 9. They'll have Vivek Canthan and Louis Castellini on row 10. Fred Green and Jakub Kamenek on row number 11. Marcus Chilkunis and Maximum Rafalek on row 12. They'll have Roland Cooklane and Harley Keeble on row 13. Nico Hanalate and Matilda Itzkovic round out row number 14, and the 27 karts that'll be out there, of course. No Gabriel Stilt, who was spending his first weekend with the Tony Kart Racing team. Unfortunately, a rollover on the Litchfield Bridge in one of his qualifying heats has forced him to retire. And yes, unfortunately, did hear from this team and his family that it was confirmed a broken ankle for the young Briton after that accident. So if he is watching at home, Gabriel, we do wish you the very best and a speedy recovery. But the race will go on, of course, so this weekend. And a reminder of some of the positions, of course, we've spoken about Jacob Mikulev, Scott Lindblom, of course, with his 2 qualifying heat wins. Dries van Langendonk is an interesting case in this one. Doesn't sit inside the top 10 in the intermediate classification, but that's, of course, we've had other senior races. But 7th and 2 second places. They are good results still for Van Langendonk, and despite the fact that he didn't get a great qualifying because he sits on the second row, Group E. Remember, Group A are the fastest drivers in the group, so yeah, if you find yourself in Group E and F, which is where we are, this is no like offence to the drivers out there, but they were the slowest drivers in qualifying. They've been put in this groups. And the fact that we see Thibaut Ramekers, our championship leader in this group, Dries van Langendonk, who is also pretty up there in the championship, of course. Well, he is the leader of the championship in the senior category, in the junior category, but he stepped up into the senior category for this one. So there he's pushing his way through. So he's lost his contention for that one. He's thinking about what he can do maybe for the Worlds. But out to the final corner. Are we going? First time of asking in this one. Yes, we are. We are racing down in towards turn number 1. It's a good start for Jacob Mikulev again. The spray kicking up as everyone pushes the way through. Lindblom, has he managed to get a good start in this one? I can see him there. He's third. He's going to look to the inside. Now it's a half spin, and he loses that line to the inside, and he allows the victory lane kart to head through. Over the bridge they go. I can see there's marshals running, and there are karts underneath the bridge that I can see from my commentary box position, and we will find out who they are in a brief moment, but they start a little about midway point of the field. Tiziana Monza is one of them. Guillaume Bouzard is the other, the 2 drivers involved in the incident under the bridge. But I think they've managed to get it restarted. Luna Flusha there on the infield, trying to get involved here. Is getting squeezed onto the inside there. And wow, that was a big defensive lunge there. Was that Dries van Langendonk holding on to that one? I think it might have been the 337 trying to hold on to any of these positions that he possibly can. But Flusha now is going to go wheel to wheel with Lewis Gilbert. Lewis Gilbert from Scotland. The Diamond of Dalry, I should say, in Scotland is Lewis Gilbert, but he's pushing his way forward in this one. In these wet conditions, he is very used to conditions like this, and so far pushing his way forward. Here's Ramekers, though, at the front, and Mikulev is just behind him right now. He's not had the good getaway. It's Jimmy Elias who leads the way. Elias, who has had a very strong day yesterday. He had a second, third, and then a win to end his day. He might have a win here to start his day. Gilbert to the inside, goes wheel to wheel there with Van Langendonk. And there, just can't get it through. Guy Albag there as well, trying to get involved in the Kart Republic. But he is just ahead of them at this moment. Gilbert's got through, though. Gilbert now trying to look to the inside here. A little bit of touch in there between the two of them. You can see it's a fine line between just holding on to that position and just a little bit too much of a knock to send a drive around. But great car control from the two of them, both Albag and Gilbert, as they push along in this race. Here at the front, though, Elias is under pressure. Lindblom here is there, but oh, that was a big mistake there for Scott Lindblom, and a big mistake there for Jimmy Elias. There, he went straight into the barrier. He understeered straight off the circuit, and now as well, Lindblom is going a little bit slowly. He's looking down at the engine there, maybe adjusting something on the carb. I think they're all trying to do something here now, as it's all going very slowly for the drivers, and now Ramekers gets through. And so does Gilbert. Lewis Gilbert gets up into third place as Jimmy Elias is all over the road here. He is not focused at all. He clipped the barrier there from the lead. He jumped down into second place, and now he's tumbled to fourth. He's going to take a lot of that inside curb. That's, for some drivers, they don't find that the fastest way through the bridge section. Here comes Ramekers. He's going to go for the lead here on Lindblom. Lindblom now another one of the new junior drivers for the Red Bull team. You can see that with his new livery, his new helmet design he's got there. He's still got his old Scott Lindblom design on top. As round goes Ramekers. Round goes Thibaut Ramekers at hairpin number 2. The driver who is leading the championship standings going into this weekend is now looking at a second DNF in his qualifying heat. He is gifting this championship to Joe Turney, who is on maximum points. This is Gilbert fighting for the lead. Lewis Gilbert has taken the lead of this race. The driver who started this one in the midfield, he started P11, now takes the lead. Elias has no control over that kart. He's trying to adjust something again on the carburetor, but that kart has just got no traction out there whatsoever. He is slipping and sliding all over the place. Guy Albag, this is a superb drive for Guy Albagino. He's looking at his best result of the weekend here. 6 places he's gained so far in this race as he sits there in second place, but Van Langendonk's going to make it a challenge for him. Van Langendonk there is in third place. He is trying to push through up in this order, but again, he is just struggling to find the pace. Louis Castellini, though, fastest driver on circuit. And where does Louis Castellini sit? Well, he's currently 23rd place. Is Thibaut Ramekers still in this race? I think he is. Ramekers is still running, but he's 24th, right at the back of the field, as Lewis Gilbert is now under investigation. I have no idea what that's for. It's early stages of the race. It could be for the start. We just don't know. But Lewis Gilbert, who leads the way by nearly a second now from Guy Albag, is under investigation. And I can imagine he'll see that board now as he crosses the line. How will he take it as more coming together there out of the final corner? I don't think Lewis Gilbert took it well as round goes Flusha. Luna Flusha, the Spaniard who finished second in her first race yesterday, 5th in her second, is out in her 3rd attempt in the qualifying heats, and the Prema driver will go no further in qualifying heat E versus F. Well, that is a huge shame, and what on earth happened there? Now, she was on the inside into the corner. This might give us an inkling. Is that why Gilbert's under investigation? Was there contact between himself and Ramekers that put him in that position? Did the championship leader go round? Now, here's what happened to Flusha. You can see she's on the inside, clips the curb. Oh, and just a little bit of contact there. A little bit of contact. I say the media man very quickly to spring out of the way there of the marshal post. But, yeah, that is a big shame then for 2 super talented drivers out of this race. So Gilbert's under investigation then for potentially that contact with Thibaut Ramekers. Now, anything that would come his way. Of course, a 5-second time penalty would be obviously the go-to of a penalty for anything. So that's what we always go for. Obviously, things may differ between that one, as through goes Van Langendonk as on Guy Alberghino. Alberghino back down to P3. Yeah, so for Gilbert, a 5-second time penalty, if that comes his way, a 5-second time penalty, that'll put him down to, well, it will put him down at the moment only to P3, which shows how spread out, again, that open field is right now, as Eichmanns is going to send it down the inside of Elias. And again, Elias's kart, the back is stepping out there. He is not enjoying these wet conditions in this second half of the race. The start of the race, he was absolutely fine, was Elias. He got into the lead. It was just that spin at the start. Here is that replay again. Definite contact there. You do see the front nose cone make contact, and he's not happy. Like you say, throws his hands up in protest. Here's another angle of it. Can we see it? Bosch, yeah, there's a clear bit of contact there. And, of course, that investigation flag will be out for Lewis Gilbert. So he just has to dig deep right now. He has to dig deep and try and break away. And, well, at the moment, he's doing just that. He's 4 seconds clear from Van Langendonk in second place. He is just under 5 seconds clear from Guy Albag in third place. They'll cross the start-finish line now. What are the new gaps going to be? Well, they're going to be 3.9 and they're going to be 5.1. So if Gilbert only picks up a 5-second time penalty, he will drop to second place in that race, which will still be a very good result. But, of course, it's not down to me. It's down to what the stewards feel will be right for anything that happens out in the racing. Jacob Mikulev has had a dismal race in this one, the same as many others. We've not really called them out in this one, but they've tumbled down the order. Jacob Mikulev is one of them. He's tumbled down the order. Sada Matsui, unfortunately, the Japanese driver, not having a good one in this one, is down in 21st place. Scott Lindblom as well. 2 wins yesterday in the dry conditions, is looking at a 22nd place right now, right at the back of the field. The retirements, though, at the moment, Luna Flusha we've seen, Ramakas we've seen, Monza, Buzar, Itzkovic, all retirements, and, of course, the non-starter of Gabriel Stilp, I should say. Ian Eichmanns here on your screen, currently running in P4, has got Guy Albag right in front. Now, Eichmanns has had a brilliant race in this one. 13 places gained right now, pushing himself in the field, but he's not had a good run there through the order. This is not the sort of results that we usually have seen from Eichmanns in these sort of conditions, but he's certainly taking to this one very nicely. Eichmanns has certainly pushed himself forward, of course, formerly with the Eichmanns Grand Prix team. Now he races a lot with the Birolart team as well. But still obviously has a lot of passion with the Eichmanns team. But right now pushing his way through. Update on Lewis Gilbert. His gaps, what are they? Well, Eichmanns is 6.7 seconds further down the road, so he's definitely only looking at a second place if he only picks up a 5-second. Van Langendonk is 4.8. If Gilbert can open that up just that little bit more, he might be all good here, as the whole field here have all gained place. Everyone is up right now. Oh, there is Scott Lindblom. He's out of the race, the new Red Bull junior driver this season. And, yeah, he's just a shake of the head, just saying it's not good, it's not working, and he just went backwards in that race. That is a huge shame for the driver from Sweden. Harley Keeble looks to be in a spot of bother out there as well. He's currently running in 21st place, not having a good run. Is up still 5 places, but Keeble, who has been most commonly known racing out in the USA for quite some time, is back in the UK, and I'm sure is not enjoying these conditions too much. Back with the race leader, Gilbert, up 10 places, is clear by 4.8 seconds from the rest of the field. Van Langendonk, Eichmanns, Eilbag, Elias and Bottaro. Bottaro is up 12 places. Vivek Kanthan is up 12 places in this race as well. Superb drive from those two. Matteo Giacardi is up 2 in P8. Fred Green is up 12 places in P9. Andrea Dube is in 10th place, up 3 places. Dominic Simak is up 4 places in P11. Maximum Rafalik is up 12 places in P12. You know, everyone's just gained positions here. Castellini's gained 7, Gale's gained 2, Cook Lane's gained 10, Chilkunis has gained 7 as well, Hanalate has gained 10 as well. and Harley Keeble has retired from this race, so it's been drama for the young Brit, who unfortunately his first time back in the UK racing for quite some time. It's not gone his way. There though, Eichmann's all on his own in third place, 14 places gained, is 7.4 seconds behind Gilbert, and update on that battle, Gilbert was just above 5 seconds clear of Dries van Langendonk, but Van Langendonk's put in a lap here, and I think he's been told by the team to push, because they will probably think that, there's probably coming Lewis Gilbert's way, so there could be a race win in here for Dries van Langendonk. There though, Guy Albag pushing still very firmly in P4 all the way to the end of this one, and well, drama has ensued in terms of the championship in this one. Ramekers, well, he's looking at no points here. He's looking at no points in this qualifying heats phase. Again, the DNF he had earlier on, he did have a third place, but another DNF. A third place is not going to help him out at all in this one. Maximilian Rafalek sees a warning flag, so he's in the eyes of the race control team at the moment as well, so he does need to be careful. But here, Lewis Gilbert, out there on the circuit, part of the Kraft Motorsport team, and certainly pushing his way forward. Great to see the Kraft team in the Champions of the Future Racing in the OK category. This is the first time that Gilbert's been running on this OK engine as well. It's very well known in other classes as well, and Miami Rotax and all of that, but he's racing now for the first time this weekend on the OK platform. He's got the TM-powered engine on board his wagon, and so far this weekend, it's been an up-and-down one for him. Like I say, qualifying didn't really go his way. He got a little bit caught out in it, but he's certainly delivered in this one on the Tony Kart chassis, pushing his way throughout on this final lap. Has re-extended his lead now to over 5 seconds. So if Van Langendonk on this last lap can really close in, he might get away with a race victory here. And that's, of course, if something goes towards Lewis Gilbert. If nothing goes to Lewis Gilbert, of course, everything I say is purely provisional here. Don't believe anything I say, really, in terms of that. But, you know, he could really be in a situation here where he could come away with a race win. So could it be Gilbert? Could it be Van Langendonk? At the moment, it's on a knife edge right now, 5.059 seconds. Gilbert is going to take the win across the line, but if a penalty goes his way, could Van Langendonk get it? Across the line they go. We'll find out what the gap is in a few moments' time. Gilbert takes the win, but what's the gap from Van Langendonk? The gap is 5.1 seconds. So if Gilbert picks up a penalty for that incident with Thibaut Ramekers, he would still win the race. That is outstanding. Well, Dries van Langendonk will finish in P2. Eichmann's will finish in P3 after gaining 14 places. Guy Albag from Jimmy Elias. Davide Bataro, 12 places gained from Vivek Kanthin's 12 places. Giaccardi from Simek, and Austin Gale, who gained 6 places, rounds out the top 10 on circuit. The drivers are still crossing the line now, and Lewis Gilbert's heading into the final sector on the circuit. That just shows how spread the field was right now, and once again, a multitude of retirements out in this race. But let's have a look at the full classification at the end of that one. It's Lewis Gilbert from Van Langendonk, Eichmann's from Albag, Elias from Botaro, Kanthin from Giaccardi, Simek from Gale, Dub from Cook Lane, Castellini from Green, and Shilkunas, who rounds out the top 15. 16th place downwards sees Nico Hanalate, Jakob Kamenek, and Jacob Mikalev. Sada Matsui from Maximilian Rafalek, Harley Keeble, Scott Lindblom, Luna Flusha, Thibaut Ramekers,